This is the stock stereo in my Mustang. And this is what it sounds like after an aftermarket radio upgrade.
Okay, we got some Drake on.
And I'm gonna be completely honest, guys, I didn't expect this one mod to change how much I actually enjoy driving this car. If you've ever shot for car stereos, you already know the problem. Some are dirt cheap, some are insanely expensive, and they all claim to do the same thing. We're talking touchscreen, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay, backup camera support. So how much are you actually supposed to spend? Now, I'm not here to compare 10 radios. I just wanted to know if upgrading from my stock one is actually worth it, or if it's one of those mods that looks cool but doesn't actually change anything. So I installed an aftermarket unit myself, lived with it, tested it, and here's everything I wish I knew before I did it. So before upgrading to the aftermarket stereo system, I had the base of the base. I had the calculator stereo with the basic sound quality, you know, not the premium version with the extra speakers or none of that. You know, it's just a stock S550 Mustang with the regular sound system. Like, it was good, guys, but don't get me wrong, after years of owning it, those stock speakers were slowly going out, and you know, I finally had to get those replaced. So you know, I was already missing out on some things. There's also things like Bluetooth lag whenever I wanted to connect my phone and it just wouldn't. I'm telling you, I would turn on my car, turn on Bluetooth, make sure it's connected, and nothing would be popping up. I would literally be pressing the media button, going from sync to FM to AM, back to sync, and sometimes the sync would just be gone. Like, there was no way to connect to it. It was just like my car didn't want to connect. So there was many times where I went full-on car rides with no music going. And you know, that definitely sucks. And now phone quality, I'm not gonna lie, the stock sound system with the stock microphone, the phone quality isn't even that bad. I mean, I can hear everything, I can hear everyone, they can hear me. So I never really thought twice about that one. But my overall thoughts on it was that it works, and that's about it. Which, like, it's not terrible, it just feels dated. There's plenty of other cars that have like Sync 2, Sync 3, and even those are not as good as some aftermarket stereo systems. Like, most of these cars are way ahead of the technology they have in them. Now, before we get into the install, let me tell you this. If you can use some basic tools, follow some instructions, and be creative, you can do this. I know personally that taking apart a stereo system and looking at all the wiring and all the connections, and even just feeling the big clunky radio system come out, it's intimidating. But as long as you don't overthink it, you'll be perfectly fine. And most of these new stereo systems don't even require things like trim tools, solder kits, crimpers, all that stuff. Most of these are just plug and play. You take out the old ones, put in the new ones, connect the new harnesses, and you're done. To be honest, all they really take is just a little bit of patience. The hardest part is really just convincing yourself that you can do this and that you're really not gonna break anything. Alright guys, so now we're gonna get into the install. Let's switch to these other clips and let you know just how I did it. So today, we're doing something fun. The other day, I was looking through Facebook Marketplace and I came across this great deal. We got this. We got a dual screen radio for my 2016 Mustang. I got it at such a good deal. Hopefully it comes with everything, but I paid 250 bucks. So we're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna quickly go over the few tools that you'll need to install it, and then we're just gonna jump right into it. Alright guys, so being completely honest, there's really not a lot that you need for this install. You'll need a basic little flathead just to help pry open some things. You'll need your ratchet with an extension and a 7mm socket. Then just get yourself a nice thick microfiber towel that you're basically going to use whenever you're setting the radio screen onto something. And as you can see, this is the OEM calculator face radio that I've had for years. This thing sucks, but I'm so ready to try the new one. The first thing we're going to want to get off is this piece right here. And basically, to do so, you're gonna have to pry off this piece and slowly work your way around it, making sure not to break or crack any of it. I've done this before. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of patience. The next thing we're gonna work on is getting the old radio off. So to start, you have this little cover right here between the cigarette lighter and the USB port. And all you're gonna wanna do is use a really thin flathead and just pop it off. There we go, just like that. You should have two 7mm right here, as well as the two 7mm right here. And these are the main things holding in the stock radio. You would be using your 7mm with the extension to get those pieces out. Here's my 7mm. And honestly, I'm gonna just be throwing these right here in the cup holder. And from here, you can use a plastic pry tool, but also just slowly pry it out from the top. Work yourself down to the bottom, and that's gonna be it. Oh, there we go. We just had to lift up. All right, guys, we're back here again. I hope this 0.5 camera mode helps y'all see better. There you go. Literally had to use 2 hands. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, you're also gonna wanna keep your cigarette lighter. Okay, guys, so basically to get this off, you had to push the little port out completely through, and then it made getting this thing out actually easier. All right, guys, and as you see, we have a bunch more 7mm holding in all these things. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connections. All right, guys, here, remember this sucker? We're definitely gonna put it together after we put it in here. And just remember, you want the cap to swing out outwards. We're really just gonna slide it under there and just pop it in. There we go. And now you wanna pop in this, just like that. It's back in. All right, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Like I said, I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if I'm missing anything. We're just gonna go head on and go straight into it. All right, just like that. We're gonna transfer it over. Boom. Okay, guys, so I sat out here for a little bit trying to figure out and make sense of what all I had. I know this goes to the back of the OEM screen, and it says 12P reverse camera converter. Then we have a bunch of other connections like extra micro USB ports. There's only one spot where it fits, right there, and there's like no way to bring it out. So that's gonna go to the side. So I have my USB, that's 1, 2 radio. We have GPS in here, which is this one. Then we have the one I told y'all about. This is the main power harness. So this one has 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're gonna go ahead and just line it up and see if we can get anything out of it and put it together. And before we do, you're probably gonna wanna get your microfiber towel and cover it. That way you have somewhere to lay your new screen, just like that. Okay, so this thing's kind of weird. You kind of have to get it in like this first, then slowly bring it back until it pops in, just like that. Now the cigarette lighter, that's just gonna use the same one. All right, so that one, maybe we'll go in. You know what, here it is. And then over here you have your microphone camera, which I ended up running up above the headliner, up over here by this column, down through all these panels, which I took apart, then over my steering wheel, and then back into the stereo system. We're gonna go ahead and bring this up and back so we can see if it works right now. Try and turn it on. Okay, see? Okay, so it's got like an Android screen. Okay, look at that. Honestly, this is a solid screen. Android CarPlay. Oh shoot, this is cool. It's showing that my door's open. Look at that. And guys, just the fact that it turned on already has me excited. We're about to see if all the controls work and everything. Okay guys, let's pause. I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about my personal favorite detailing products that I definitely recommend you should try. I like to stay pretty consistent with my detailing products. I have my go-to pressure washer, which I've been using for a couple of years now. It's the Adams Polishes Active Pressure Washer 2.0. I have my basic car detailing kit, which comes with a bunch of things like sponges, brushes, you can name it. Then we get into the soap I use. I like to go with this Chemical Guys Hydro Sud Ceramic. It's super foamy and I love it, especially paired with this Rain Kobo foam cannon. Now, once you're done washing the car, you want to make sure you grab yourself a good towel. Black Line towel is honestly my favorite towel I've used to this day. Once you're done with that, you want to make sure you get your interior right with this Chemical Guys Total Interior Cleaner. And the last 3 things I personally use is this DIY ceramic spray to make sure and seal up your car for a nice clean finish. Then you have your TS2 Touchless Tire Shine. I personally really like this one because it makes my tires extra shiny. For this last one, which is the Spray Away Glass Cleaner, if you know, you know. You just spray it on, it foams up, and then you clean it off. Simple as that. But alright guys, let's go ahead and get back to the video. Alright, so while you have it on, you definitely want to make sure things work. So we're gonna see with AC. Oh wow, okay, yeah, it's blowing. I don't know if you can tell. Okay guys, this is definitely cool. You have this. See if we can turn the heat up. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to feel the heat coming out. That's good. Okay, there's a radio. Honestly, this is cool. So there's YouTube on here. Okay, but we have YouTube. That's awesome. Okay guys, really cool feature just unlocked. Normal, sport, plus, track, and snow wet mode. Beforehand, I had the steering wheel mode, but I didn't have really anything else besides traction control. And even when I use the steering wheel mode, I didn't feel anything different. Now, like, I actually feel like normal, sport, like, actually feels like tougher. And then comfort, obviously, I think I did have that. But what's crazy now is I have these modes here, which I literally didn't have before. Like, I have normal, I have sport, I have track, and I have like a snow wet mode, which is really cool because on sport mode, or it adjusts my throttle body with my exhaust, which I could kind of hear. Like, the exhaust definitely got a little bit louder, and when I drive it, it revs up a little bit faster. So I know it's working, and I know it's doing something. But yeah, I just thought I should let y'all know that. And then we have no off, on off, you know, Chinese stuff. Then we have traction control. Yeah, we have to test these. Cool. These are working. Okay, cool guys. I connected it, and we definitely have Apple CarPlay now. Guys, it's working! Okay, we got some Drake on. Okay guys, so the only thing that wasn't working was the factory camera. All I had to do was go to the settings, which you pull down from up here, go to car settings, go to factory setup, you're gonna put in the password. You actually go to back car source settings and you change it from, it probably was HD something, and that's like the other camera that comes with it, and then it starts working. All right, now it's time to put everything back in place. But now we're gonna start putting everything back together. Like right there. Then we have the cover that goes right here in the middle. Let's see, we're bringing in all the... Alright guys, so I installed this about a week ago, and so here's my overall review on my new stereo system. So as far as the user interface and layout, it definitely has the Android Auto layout, so you have all the Android apps and everything, but then you simply just connect your phone and it switches over to CarPlay. You don't even have to think about it. You can go back to the Android Auto to go and change your settings, to go adjust your music audio settings, or do things like pairing other devices, things like that. And guys, I know if you're like me, you're probably looking at it like, it really just looks like a tablet. And honestly, that's how I think about it. It's really just an integrated tablet that I now have as a stereo system. I have the dual display, so that top one handles all my music, Bluetooth, all that stuff, while the bottom one is just for my HVAC controls, which honestly I like. I didn't expect the touchscreen and the little on-off button to be as convenient as it was, but after just a few days, I quickly got used to not having the knobs. Now with saying that, the only thing I do miss is the volume knob. That's the one that I do miss. I know there's little touchscreen options for adjusting the volume on the stereo itself, but now what I mainly do is adjust my volume with the steering wheel controls. Which honestly, I'm kind of glad that it still works like that. And yeah, sure, even with the steering wheel controls, sometimes I'll be pressing it and it won't do anything until the second click, but it works pretty well and I'm not really complaining about it. In the past when I was driving around, that's honestly what I would do. I would be driving around and turning it up and down with the steering wheel controls. So nothing crazy. Not a big change. And you know, if you have an iPhone, the Apple CarPlay really does go a long way compared to the stock calculator radio. Now you have your GPS navigation, you have your Spotify window, you have your time, you have notifications coming in. You're no longer just having to look back at your phone. It's right there. It's right there where you can see it. It's all nice, organized the way Apple CarPlay is. So that right there is what I really like. On top of that, ever since I upgraded, the new stereo system definitely changes the signal output from the radio down to my speakers. So the speakers are a lot more clear and a lot louder than they used to be. It's definitely changed so many things. As well as the stereo system unlocked new features on my car. I'm still super happy and super ecstatic about the fact that now I have sport mode. I mean, sure, it's an EcoBoost, but it's there. I have sport mode, I have track mode. My steering wheel controls are now changeable. I used to have normal and comfort, and yes, it would change, but it really didn't feel any different. Now I have the normal, I have sport, which actually feels sporty, feels stiff, and then I have the comfort. You know, I'll still never use the comfort, but now I can choose between normal and sport, which honestly I really like. And I don't know about many of you guys, but before this, my hazard lights honestly never worked. I would press on them and they would flash, but I'd have to continue to press it down just for it to keep going. So now that I can press on it and it'll stay on, like, that's nice. Now I can be on the side of the road and not be worried about someone staying in the car to press the hazards while I'm over there trying to fix whatever is going on, right? Now guys, we're gonna get into a call test. So I did a call test while I was with my girlfriend. I was inside the car, she was out of it, and we even switched spots. That way I could see what it sounds like and be sure that my calls and the person on the other side of the line could hear me. And you know, it worked pretty well while we were stationary. I didn't realize that at the time, but after you hit 50, 60, that microphone definitely picks up all the background noise, and it definitely kind of sucks. I'd say that's the #1 drawback so far of this system, is that the microphone quality isn't the best. You know, it definitely could be better. Now, I can hear them great. The sound quality itself, 10 out of 10. Love it. But yeah, the microphone really isn't the best, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So now what would I rate it? From 1 to 10, as a daily driver, I would say from what I had to what I have now, before I had maybe a 4, 5. I had something that was functional and that worked. But with many outdated systems that no one even used, it can't really go up higher than a 5. Now I'm saying that with this new system, I've definitely gone from a 5 to a solid 8. I'm not necessarily gonna go 9, 10, because there's definitely a few things that could be better, but for the price and how many features I got with it, it's definitely worth it. Honestly, price alone, for what I got it with, I'd give it a 10, but if you're buying it brand new, you know, bring it back down to an 8. There's probably a few other systems that are comparable. But you know what, guys? At the end of the day, this isn't about having the fanciest radio. What it's really about is making the car feel modern again. And this stereo system does it. Really makes the car go from a 2015, 2016 model to now making it feel brand new again, 2020 at least. You know, that's a 5-year tech difference compared to what it had. With all the features and the new sound quality, it's even better. I have to drive a lot of rental cars, so I see a lot of stereo systems, and now this one upgrade really put my car on par with a bunch of these 2025 and newer cars that I've gotten to drive around. And guys, I've done quite a few mods to my car now, but if I had to go back and choose one starter mod, the stereo system would definitely be the first one I do. It really and drastically changed my overall car and driving experience, which I 10 out of 10 love. So if you're building a Mustang or any older car, I'd say installing a stereo or just any aftermarket head unit is really worth it. It really goes a long way. It changes the sound quality, which for daily driving is amazing, and just gives you a lot of new features that you really otherwise wouldn't have. But guys, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. I've been posting consistently on this channel, and this build is really just getting started. I have so much content coming, so I want y'all to be prepared and be ready for when the new videos come out. Also, if you've got a song that you want me to test in the car, make sure to put that song in the comments. I might be using it in the next video.